Hello, New York Cosmos supporters. My name is John Frashante. You may have heard me on the First Team podcast, but we're doing a little live stream here. So I really want to get a taste of how you guys will be enjoying this. The hope here is to sort of have like a pre-show, a pre-match live stream leading up to New York Cosmos Charleston Battery. But one thing is that we will not have a live stream, or the Cosmos won't have a live stream for the Battery match. So that is one downside, but no worries. We will have you guys entertained leading up to 7:30 kickoff for Charleston Battery New York Cosmos. There's so much to talk about. This is a historic meeting. It's never happened before, so the first time on that front. But we will talk about so many things. Talk about the preseason so far for the New York Cosmos. That's number one. Number two, take your questions. So if you have any questions, you can tweet us at OneTeamPod on Twitter. Make sure you do that. Give us a follow. Subscribe to the channel as well. But we want to hear some interaction. So what do you guys think about preseason so far for the New York Cosmos? Are you excited for Charleston Battery New York Cosmos? We are going to get into some quotes now. So the general manager and head coach of the Battery, Mike Anhauser, he says that this Charleston Battery and the New York Cosmos, the first time we played, that's a big deal. I mean, I grew up with the Cosmos, and a lot of people did. That was one of the biggest clubs in the world. Everybody remembers the Cosmos is a big name. Giovanni Savarese went on to say that playing the Battery presents a variety of challenges for us, which is a good thing. Those challenges will give us the chance to continue our process. The challenges will help us further understand in what areas we need to grow as a team. Ultimately, it is a great game to prepare us for the start of our NASL season. So let's get talking about preseason so far, because it has been going great, but the Cosmos only played stateside. So they haven't gone internationally. They haven't played an international friendly, but we're going to get into all that into the podcast for this next week. But I want to get into it a small bit because it's a weird one, because Cosmos supporters were used to international friendlies, us going abroad. It's so exciting. It's so cool for the Cosmos to play another team from another country, and that just hasn't happened this preseason. But we got a taste of preseason stateside, and a lot of clubs in this country just do that. They accept that they are going to play preseason matches in this country, and that's all they're going to do. But for the New York Cosmos, it's different. It felt like a very different preseason. It just didn't feel right. But we're coming towards the end, a final match right now tonight at 7:30 of the preseason. But it feels different, but we've got things done. We've played clubs that meant a lot to us and clubs that are very low in the table on the soccer pyramid. But we played the Earthquakes. We ended up losing, but we played against a great opponent, an MLS side, a team that we will play in the U.S. Open Cup, or not the Earthquakes, but we will play MLS sides in the U.S. Open Cup if they advance that far. But preseason is different for each club, but it is a very different one. And I want to hear what you guys think about the Cosmos preseason so far. Do you like them going abroad? Is that something that excites you as a supporter, or do you like a U.S. Preseason tour, if you will? You can tweet that to @OneTeamPod on Twitter, or you can leave that in the comment sections below if you're watching it on the archives. So getting into Charleston Battery New York Cosmos, we will have some team news coming up soon. Hopefully that we will see a squad that might be the starting 11 that we might see coming up against the Ottawa Fury, which will be a very exciting matchup. The championship rematch. That is going to be crazy exciting. And I just can't wait to April 3rd. I just want you guys to know that one. But we have the team news here. Jimmy Maurer is starting. We have Freeman, Mendez, Ayoze, and David Ochang. Lahoud is our defensive mid. On the left wing, we have Ruben Bovar, Juan Arango, Andres Flores, and on the right side, Sebastian Guinzati. And up front, the lone striker is Haro Arrieta. And on the bench, we see Jimmy Ockford, Duke Zobak, Diose Holt, Calvillo, Farfan, Vilala, and Lucky, and Kranjar as well, which is very exciting. He just signed with the club as well. Nico it brings a lot to the team. And this starting 11 might be the team that we might see against the Ottawa Fury. It's right to the chase. It's a solid side, and it could get the job done. But my problem with this starting 11 is Lucky did a lot of things last season. And we've seen a lot of competition. We've seen Gio play different players up front. We saw Duke get a run out. We saw Lucky get a run out during preseason. We saw Haro get some starting during the preseason. But the biggest question for me is, who are we going to see on a consistent basis starting up front? Are we just going to see it shared a bit between Lucky, Haro, and Duke? Or are we going to see just one player just being thrown out there for most of the matches? So that's something that I would like to see. Maybe not one tonight, but we are going to see how it plays out come the first match against the Ottawa Fury. We saw some testing with the formations as well. So really, I think what Gio is doing is that he is just playing different cards, because we saw Marco Senna and Raul last season, and we had a set formation and we had a set style of play, and we knew what we were doing sort of on the formation side. But now, when we don't have our stars, our legends with us, I feel like we brought in different players, and I don't think we're going to change how we play, but I think we are sort of working around different things and playing with different formations just to see what works against different opponents. And that's something that should be very exciting for the upcoming season, because this is not the Cosmos from last season. So we're not going to have the legends with us. We're not going to have some players that we grew to like throughout the couple of years. We have to grow accustomed to Juan Arango, to Duke, to all the new players that signed with the club, that everyone is very excited about. I'm excited for our new signings to make a big impact this season. And 7:30 p.m. is the kickoff. Charleston Battery versus the New York Cosmos. It's set to be a great matchup. I'm looking forward to it, but again, there won't be a stream for it. We will just have to follow the Cosmos Twitter account at New York Cosmos_match. They will be providing minute-by-minute updates from Charleston. It should be a great match. My prediction for this one is a New York Cosmos victory by the score of, I'm going to go with 3-1. A 3-1 Cosmos victory. I think the Battery, they start their season next week, I believe, or next weekend. I believe they started a week earlier, or it could be later. I'm not pretty sure about the USL season, but I think they started earlier. I think the Cosmos are going to get the victory. The Battery, I mean, they have a decent squad. I saw someone say, a Battery supporter, they said that they throw everything on the pitch, that they work really hard, and I think every club should do that, not just the Battery. But if the Battery do that and go all in for this match, and because I saw on Twitter that the Battery fans and people in Charleston are just going crazy about this preseason matchup, which they should. It's the New York Cosmos. So I feel like the fans are going to get together for this one, are going to just get up for this one. The players want to prove a point, but it's just preseason, but they want to prove a point as well. But the Cosmos, and I said this earlier on the podcast, if we don't win certain matches in preseason, we shouldn't get down about what's going on. We should just be out there to test different players out, to test different formations. If we get the result, that's great. But what really matters is seeing who fits in what positions and what formations we want to play. But what really matters is April 3rd. And that's when we need to have the right players in those positions and have the great formation that we have throughout the season. And what we need is consistency, especially throughout preseason and throughout the season. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this short live stream. We want to do something like this maybe for the future during the season. So tell us what you guys think about this live stream. I know it was a bit of a short one, but we will not have a live stream from Charleston, so that really hurts what we're doing here. But I'm glad you guys are very excited for this upcoming match. You can follow us on Twitter at OneTeamPod. We will have a podcast out Sunday nightish, but if you subscribe to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you find our podcast, it will be available by Monday morning. So we are going to talk about loads of stuff. This is going to be a loaded podcast. We are going to talk about the Cosmos new signing, Nico. We are going to talk about the potential TV deal for the NASL, talk about and preview all the NASL clubs except the New York Cosmos. So we are going to preview all the Cosmos opponents on this week's show. But next week is the final week of the offseason. The season is about to start, and we will have tons of Cosmos Fury content. Not this week, but the following week. So we will have our Cosmos preview. We will have us talking to Fury supporters and just a lot of Cosmos Fury content to get everyone out there excited and pumped for Cosmos Fury. I know I'm so excited, and I just can't relay that over to all the supporters out there. But it's the final rematch, and I remember standing there, watching the final, and it was just back and forth, and it was just so great. It was the best night I've ever experienced as a Cosmos supporter, and if they can replicate that and have that on April 3rd on a Sunday night, the same night that it was the championship final, so they're really having like a Groundhog Day, same night. If they replicate that style of play and everything that's going on, but that's going to be hard because different coach for Ottawa, a lot of players left, different players, but I feel that the Fury can throw out a great squad. A lot of supporters down there or up there, they're not really excited about their season. They don't expect a lot from their season, which is pretty sad. But I do feel that the Fury are going to come out and work really hard to beat the Cosmos. They want their revenge. Even Paul Dalglish, the Fury coach, he said this about the championship final rematch. He said, when asked about the season opener against New York Cosmos, Paul Dalglish says, "We are not worried about them. We want them to be worried about us." So Paul Dalglish wants the New York Cosmos to be worried about the Fury. And I'm going to leave you guys with this question. Are we worried about the Ottawa Fury on April 3rd? You can leave that answer on the comment section below. Tweet that answer to @OneTeamPod. I want to hear what you guys think. Should the Cosmos fans, should the Cosmos as a club, should we be worried about the Ottawa Fury? My answer is you should not be worried about the Fury. We have a solid side, a side that can go far in the league, can potentially win the league, as always, and could win or potentially go far in the U.S. Open Cup. So I'm tuning out here. My name is Sean for Sean Tuning Out. You can follow us on Twitter at OneTeamPod. If you like what I did here, if you like the live stream, if you like the podcast as well, or if you don't know about the podcast, We have a podcast called the First Team Podcast. We talk about everything about the New York Cosmos on a week-by-week basis. So you can give us a follow there. Check out our new website, firstteampod.com. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on there during the season, a blog, a shop. You can find our podcast there as well. And it should be a great 2016 season. Hopefully the Cosmos get the victory. And as always, let's go New York Cosmos.